It'll be Jason Gingell out of the hold, and let's go. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stunned the college football world. One of the greatest upsets in sports history.
Okay. The intensity of this game is not to be undermined. As you can see, the crowd's intense uproar at the end of this game is extremely exciting and elicits a response of come from behind upset victory. Appalachian State's win over Michigan in 2007 is often considered the biggest upset in college football history. But what is the story behind these two teams, and why is it considered the best upset of all time, along with this defining legacy to the start of a crazy season? Coming into this game, September 1st, 2007, the opening game of the 2007 season, these two teams were on opposite sides of the spectrum. Appalachian State, an FCS team, or Football Championship Series team. An FCS school is considered the division below FBS, Football Bowl Series, due to the funding of the teams is lower than those in FBS level. And in the 120 years of college football before this, no FCS team had ever, again in 120 years, ever been an FBS team. Ralph D. Russo from Henderson Times News published an article in 2007 titled "College Football's Smaller Stage Suits Mountaineers" about the funding from Appalachian State, stating Appalachian State has an athletic budget of $9.5 million for 20 teams and 450 student athletes. If you're wondering, Michigan had a $13.6 million athletic department surplus last school year. The entire budget of Appalachian State was $9.5 million throughout their entire college. But for Michigan, just their athletic department had a $13.6 million surplus, which is quite substantial. Michigan, obviously, just a powerhouse. Everyone's heard of Michigan. Appalachian State had 2 FCS titles coming into this game. Michigan, however, ranked number 5 in the nation. They had double-digit wins last year. In a 13-game season, double-digit wins is quite rare. They had a lot of future Michigan Hall of Famers returning, like Chiefs legend Chad Henne, who was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, playing with us. Off Tackle Empire published a 2024 article titled "A World Turned Upside Down, Mountaineers, Wolverines, and the Dawn of the Big Ten Network" about the setup to this game, saying the sports books didn't offer an official point spread, but offshore books had the line pegged at Michigan by 33.5. No one in the Michigan world seemed remotely concerned for what was to come. And he would be right. You look at this game, there is nobody in a FBS level that thinks that Appalachian State can win. And 33.5 points as a spread, the biggest of all time up until this point, until getting broken later in this season. A spread, being the overall point differential as predicted by sports analysts, is how many points the winning team will win by. 33.5 being a significant amount of points, considering if you look at that game, Michigan didn't even score 33.5 or 33 points at all. You can't score half a point in football. To add to the fire, the game, like on the last slide, was in Ann Arbor, aka the Big House. Not going to put an S there. The Big House suits 109,000 people, the biggest stadium in the nation, and all of which were wearing blue and yellow for Michigan. And Appalachian State was ready. The first ever game streamed on the Big Ten Network, the conference of which Michigan played in, on September 1st, 2007. The game started at noon. The Wolverines opened fast with a touchdown run before Appalachian State and Michigan traded touchdowns to go 14-14 in a deadlock. An article published by the College Football Hall of Fame in 2022 titled "Arrow Beyond the Call, Michigan Upset by Appalachian State" summarizes the rest of the game, saying they extended the edge to 28-14, this being Appalachian State, before a Michigan field goal sent the teams to the locker room, with Appalachian State leading 28-17. In the second half, Michigan eventually took the lead at 32-31 on a 54-yard Hunt touchdown run, but the Wolverines could have been up more, failing on two two-point attempts. with a minute 37 left, Appalachian State went 69 yards, kicking a field goal to go ahead 34-32. Michigan only had 24 seconds to work with, but a 46-yard Chad Henne to Mario Manningham pass set up a game-saving 37-yard field goal with 6 seconds left to play. But as you can see, an electrifying block field goal and return down to the 16-yard line by Corey Lynch saved the game. And in front of a 109,000 strong crowd, Appalachian State did the impossible. The biggest upset in history had just been accomplished, and chaos would follow. The game sparked the craziest season of all time, so much that in fact it was labeled the year of the upset, as there were 69 total upsets over ranked teams throughout the season, the most in 100 years and the most that has ever followed. The season was so crazy, in fact, that Mizzou had a chance to play for a national title. I'll let that sink in. That has never happened ever. But yet we were ranked number 1 for 2 weeks during that season. Andy Wittry, a blogger, published an article by NCAA in 2017 titled "Looking Back at the 2007 Season, the Year of the Upset." In that article, he says, top 10 teams lost 29 times. The number 1 team lost 4 times. The number 2 team lost 7 times, all in the final 9 weeks of the season. The number 1 and the number 2 team lost in the same week three times, not teams, times, including weeks 13 and 14, which the odds, somebody tried to calculate the odds of this happening, and it was more rare than getting a perfect March Madness bracket, which if you heard the odds of that, is quite small. So overall, quite insane. As a whole, an upset sparked by underdog bias and incomprehensible gameplay, the 2007 game between Appalachian State and Michigan has a case for being the biggest upset in college football history.